Hi, y'all. I found out what the hell that song means. Like, not in general, but in a spiritual sense, because it was in my rotation. And I was like, so I was listening to Clear Crystal Quartz yesterday, and that sounds crazy, but y'all been rocking with me for a while. Sit down, tune your crown to a frequency, and you get some answers. In this case, the answer was clarity. So, and this is genderless, by the way. I'm just talking from the perspective of somebody with boobies. So, uh, you have the option of a divine counterpart, which goes back to the partner that you started off with, like the person you were born with. Don't look at it that way because that only applies as incest here on earth. It just means when you're up there that somebody was custom made to be the match to your energy, right? That's your divine counterpart. That's that one. Like, wow, are you fucking me? Like that's the energy. Is you in another body, in another gender. Sometimes it's the same gender, and just one of you softer and one of you's harder. Either way, that's the same dynamic. It does not matter. And let me tell you, God does not care either. Not at all. That's some human stuff that they imposed on other people because of their levels of discomfort, right? So, divine, going back home, y'all are just two cars waiting to pull up next to each other on the road and say, hey, and then both of you leave those cars and start walking together on a whole different journey, back into nature, back into what Eden was supposed to be. That's the best way I could put that for you and your divine partner. It's just so easy, right? On the other end, we have twin flames, and we've been talking about this for quite some time. Sorry, y'all know I be like, as soon as I see me on camera, I just came from doing my little workout thing. I'm all sweaty, hair all like, whatever. Twin flames, but that's kind of what the twin flame dynamic is, y'all. So, if you have opted to go for the twin flame journey, guess what? You're either you or your counterpart. I'm going to say if you're the chaser person, I'm going to say your counterpart is not your original piece. It is your divine counterpart's shadow that you were trying to save. So you either pair up with your heaven mate, your celestial mate, or you agreed to save the part of them that got stuck in hell. That's what twin flames are. Y'all agreed to go to the flames with each other. The issue with twin flames is sometimes the person in hell does not want to leave hell. So instead of them letting go of sunshine once they found sunshine, they're going to try to keep that peace in hell with them and drag you along with them. So the twin flame dynamic can go shadow ascending because of your love and relationship. And then voila, look, surprise, it's your divine counterpart. They were just in a rough, traumatized soul energy, right? And so you get what you're supposed to have anyway. But in the event that your twin flame partner refuses to open up their heart and to face themselves, then you get dragged to hell with them, or you end up with the very last option, which is to return to God because you spent all of your time alone like a monk and it was just God with you that whole time anyway, like Sophia was originally before she fell in the first place. It was just her God, and Michael was running around doing his thing wherever he was. He didn't have a body then. He was just like Michael energy, God energy, source energy, all doing different things, right? So I was like, what the fuck? But it solved so much mystery. So now I got to pull this thing that I've had up on Canva for weeks because I was going to write, enjoying myself as a writer, to realize why I loved writing in the first place. I've been reading this series that started with The Puppet and the Pawn. It's a 4-book series. I don't think it's been 2 weeks, but the book is so good. I'm on the fourth book. The series is so good. I'm on the fourth book. I was like, dang, time flew. I was just reading and working. Uh, but it helped like flip my screen, guys. I have to show you what I had on here that I was originally going to write, but I took so long. So I'm just going to do it in video version and probably do a written one in the future. But I'm still in the reading to amp back up my writer self because I can't do videos every day. Like on days when I'm like, hold on. I want to express myself with my hands in a non-weird way. So y'all should enjoy this. I came up with, let me make it bigger down here. A Sex in the City way. Here's this video is going to be about vibration. Because playlist yet, you are doing yourself a great. There's an asteroid. Just like there's a movie for everything, there's an asteroid for everything. Let me get y'all the number. You know, I gotta be the plug. Called Masterman, right? And I was like, some patriarchal shit. I'm calling it the mastermind asteroid because the description below the word mastermind, and nobody else knows that all the pieces are coming together. And the asteroid number is 21561, right? Where if you have that next to a personal planet in your chart or an angle, and the angles are the ascendant, the IC, the DC, and the MC, right? MH, sorry. You already have this energy in you, or you already have some sort of mastermind plan going on in the background. But what I kept hearing was the left hand doesn't let the right hand know what it's doing. So this whole time, before when I've been talking to y'all doing videos for like the last few years, I was still under or operating in whatever programming was on me, right? Because that keeps you authentic. You don't remember what your plan was before you got here, which is a big theme for what I've been talking about in the last couple of videos. You just have to remember why you came in the first place or what you were up to, right? So my mastermind is conjunct my Pallas. Pallas is your unique genius, by the way. And it's at the same degree as my angel. So sort of kind of like I'm a strategy angel. I give people ideas. What I do in my job anyway, give advice, right? So you have a plan that's already in there. But when the plan is like deleted, it keeps you authentic. It keeps you in the character, which is I'm hearing when it comes to spiritual law and stuff, it's plausible deniability. Is that the word for that? Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Plausible deniability. Because your human had no idea what the plan was or what your soul was up to in the background. Plausible deniability, the ability to deny knowledge or responsibility for an action. Guys, that programming, I did the full list, has been on for a couple of weeks now, and coming off. But when I woke up today, I was like, mastermind. So if you, by any chance, happen to bypass all your contracts and the other person forfeits them, this means if you get into a relationship and the other person fumbles or drops the ball, they voided the contract and the karma falls on them. It is not yours, right? So if you make it through all of the contracts that you had assigned before you got here and all of them drop the ball, guess what happens? The case, the contract, the filing, because this is all very judicial, but in celestial realm, goes back to you. It defaults. It all belongs to the person who did not fumble the contracts. I was under the belief this whole time that if both of y'all lost, it was like a game, like, oh, we both go to hell. No, it's whoever dropped the ball or whatever the case may be, because you can always at any time, because of free will, opt to change to the contract for Christ, for your Christ spark, for the logos, which means you work for God. You are a conduit for source. It is you versus you, and everything outside of that is just a part of the game. You have your own bubble of strength. You can choose to be an independent warrior. If the people who assigned or were assigned to be with you don't make it through Earth Games, because not everybody wakes up, not everybody wants to step into their higher selves, because for some of them it's too painful for them to integrate or to take off the programming and realize everything that's happened before that. Like who you are right now in this character is completely, let me tell y'all, different from your soul signature. I woke up this morning, I felt amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, like I get it. Like you can serve somebody, if you will. I'll say that's the best way. That's literally just you meeting them, you dating them. You don't even have to date them. If you gave them an opportunity or a chance to be with you or to connect with you and they didn't do it because it's a test of true love. We're talking about the lover's test, right? They let you slip by. That means that they did not have the essence of true love for you in the first place. So I'm going to say that this is probably going to happen a lot more with twin flames because that shadow. Let me close my back door. Let me just pause this. Hold on. They love talking to each other over the balconies. So, where was I? Gotta come back in because that was really loud. That's probably on purpose. Was I saying too much? Sometimes you get blocked from saying things you ain't supposed to say. Twin flames. So, right? If you were somebody who chose the twin flame, with you picking the shadow of your divine partner, the material version, not the one that came from above, the one that came from chaos, that means at one point this person was like your reptilian husband, your Martian husband, the person who kidnapped you when they saw you and decided that's my one. And then lifetime after lifetime, you have been in a bind with them, turning, and I think I said this yesterday, love to hate as a transmutation, or vice versa. But it's been going back and forth the whole time. So this lifetime is like the accumulation of all the other ones before now. If that being never learned to actually love you, and every time you were just property or a pawn or something to them, when you come across them in this lifetime, Stevie Wonder. Like they won't see you. They won't recognize that it's you because the love that you thought y'all had, it was all coming from you the whole time. It was not reciprocated. When it is like the correct partner, or there was actually love in there and the contract wasn't like screwed over. And you can see a really great example of this in the School of Good and Evil, which is on Netflix. You will find each other no matter what because your hearts will beat at the same frequency or the same vibration, because like love is a channel. If you and I merge together and we create love, we create our own vibration, right? That means wherever I am and wherever you are, we can always hear each other on that station like a two-way radio. If that person never loved you and in every lifetime was just like hunting you because you had something to offer them or you were like their supply, they'll only hear static. They won't make it to you. They won't connect. You'll be like, I know this is my fucking person. And they'll be like, sorry, busy. Because it wasn't there in the first place. It may suck at first because you know, like, that's your person, something's wrong here. But baby, the universe is saving you from a relationship where your love was literally going to be the thing keeping it together. You were going to be pouring all of your energy into it until what? At the end, he had dragged your source energy out of you so much that both of y'all ended up at the hell elevation. So where are you going to go when you pass away together or not together? Because you don't even want to love after this person has drained you. You're so afraid of getting in another relationship that you just want to die. Like straight to hell. And who you going to see at the door? Hi, honey. My bad about the way I treated you up there. I just had to make sure you ended up back here with me so we can do it again and again because I really like role play. That's the possibility that could happen with your twin flame. So, with this relationships and astrology thing, there are, and I would have needed to add the fourth one on here, but let's see what I put on here. Because is the date on here for when I did this last on here? It's not. But I would add a fourth type, but let's go over what I have here. Relationship types and how every other relationship before the one you actually get into or the one you end up in is supposed to be preparing you for that partnership, whether you chose the divine or the twin flame with the potential to ascend and be divine or descend and be toxic, right? So Sex in the City edition. Karmic. All right. If you are a Sex and the City fan, this will make so much sense to you. I'm not going to go through every character. I'm just going to explain what karmics are, right? Karmics are tests. Tests to see if you are ready for that one yet. The karmic is going to embody the lesson or the issue that you had with whatever your mate is, the light self or the dark self, in every life. And it's meant to make sure that when it comes back around, when you're in the real relationship, you know how to handle it. It's like training. Karmics are training. Typically, when somebody signs up to be a karmic in your thing, I'm gonna say they hate your guys. Like, this is somebody who signs up to be the bad guy. Like, oh, let me in the game. It broke my heart last time. Let me be the one to do it. And that's what a karmic is. Like, because with the karmic, you'll notice, like, yo, this person is not hurt that I am hurting at all. No, they are not. They signed up to watch you like this. A karmic is a lesson in preparation for where you are going, where you wanted to go in this life. Because remember, at any time, free will, y'all, free will, you can. But you did have an original thing that you signed up for based upon what you wanted when you reviewed what you've been doing this whole time, when you looked through your Akashic record and you was like, oh no, okay, let's switch it like this time. So karmic comes in, say for instance, communication was the issue that you have with the soul that you're always trying to pair back up with. You are going to get a person that either forces you to learn how to stand up for yourself in the karmic situation, because the karmic energy is just difficult. It's a harsh lesson, I'm going to say. So force you to stand up for yourself, to come out your shell, or teaches you how to be kinder, to watch your words. Sometimes you can be the karmic, is what I just got. Like, have you ever been in a relationship where somebody was really bad to you, but then the following relationship is like, oh shit, I picked up some of their habits. Now I'm the problem. And you're being like sort of cold or an asshole to the other person. It flips and flops based upon what you need to learn. But the thing you need to carry with you guys is karmic contracts are short term. They are for specific lessons that's going to keep hitting you in your face. Like, even in the beginning, you'll notice there's a red flag until eventually the whole person turns red and you realize you can't do it. Karmics you cannot stay with. They're not going to leave you a choice, whether they leave you first or you just say enough is enough. A karmic is a lesson to help you evolve. So next, we got twin flames that I was just telling you guys about. So the ones I'm missing in here are divine partners, but I think they might fit into the next one. And I want to do this like this because it's going to bother me otherwise. It was in construction mode. Y'all are in my lab. So twin flames. So I was telling you guys the divine ones are your twin, like exactly. Like, that's you in another body. Like, oh my gosh. My daughter's dating a guy and she came to me yesterday like he was helping her learn how to work out, like they were doing arm day, right? She came back and she was like, Mom, I have a freckle right here and right here. He has a freckle right here and right here too. Like, it's weird. Their birthday is only a week apart. I was like, when you put their charts together, what it look like? The same thing. So, all right, divine partner, right? The twin flame embodies all of that. He has all of your traits. You're like, wow, that's my guy. He's me. But his are in shadow, in chaos. This means it's hidden, if you will, the goodness within them. Now, do they attract people within in the first place? Yes, the sun is going to shine when the lights are on outside. But when you spend time alone with them in their cabin, you're going to notice the shadow is strong. So this morning, I got just a quick thing to tell you guys about how reincarnation works. In the story of Narcissus and Echo, right? Just going to focus on that part. There's a guy who happens to look in some water and notice, oh my God, I am fine, right? So much so that he can't stop looking at himself in this water, right? So this girl named Echo come across and she notices he's beautiful too. She's like, oh my gosh, I love him. It's amazing. We should be together. She's probably supposed to be with him. But shorty, Narcissus, is so obsessed with how awesome he is that he can't stop looking in the water until eventually Echo has repeated herself so much that she lost her voice and disappeared and turned into a plant that just whispers his name or whispers her name over and over again in an echo. Let me pause because my kids are about to walk in. Hey guys, I'm recording. Can you get my curtain? I'm recording. Can y'all get my curtain? Love y'all. Okay. Okay, so she turns into a plant or whatever. Narcissus has stared so far into the water for so long, he's decided, I need to touch it. So this fool goes to touch his reflection, falls in, and then somehow he ends up, I believe, at the bottom of the ocean, just stuck as a plant or something forever. Either way, there are two people that were supposed to be together that did not pair up, and they both just ended up stuck in whatever their obsession was, right? So if they were to reincarnate, imagine that Narcissus, because he remembers how long he was stuck at the bottom of that ocean because he had looked in his reflection and got obsessed. What if he's afraid to look at his reflection in this life? Like he won't go near it. But then that gives him no awareness of self. But still, that energy of how awesome he is always there all the time. For in the case of somebody like Echo, maybe she wouldn't be able to speak up for herself, or she'd be afraid to say something when she loves somebody because of the way it went. Reincarnation has like ripples that you have to work through, which is why the whole karmic things happens. But with twin flames, you're like, that is my person. All the pieces are there, but you don't remember that you agreed to pull them out of the shadow, which can be hard because a lot of them are afraid to look at their reflection because they have been in the dark so long. This is like Beauty and the Beast. It's always going to kind of be the dynamic, whether it's male or female. I don't think they gave us a female version of Beauty and the Beast where there's a female that has decided to live off in madness and then a dude that comes and saves her. I don't know if there is a trope for that, but if there is, I haven't seen it. I would love to. Please give me ideas if that does exist. But here, your partner is inside of that shadow somewhere, and in the case with twin flames, you are going to like push your fire to sort of make things bright for them. Now, that's supposed to be a little exhausting for you, but the exchange eventually is supposed to be that they, because you gave them some of your light, if you would imagine yourselves as two candles, one candle not lit, because you gave them some of your light, they're able to shine on their own. And when the time comes when you're sort of low because you've been patching them up, they finally have enough to give you, and that's supposed to be you're both lit. Now you're both like, ah. The issue comes in when you have to keep lighting that person's candle because they put it out. This is somebody who can't stop running into chaos. They can't stop putting out their, and I'm blowing my candles, putting out their own flame because they're so used to being in the dark. You could throw them a rope, but they would throw it back at you and say, just jump, I'll catch you. That is the issue with the twin flame, and will always be a back and forth dynamic because they need your light unless they decide to look at themselves and cultivate their own. That's the twin flame thing, in which you actually signed up for if you have plutonic connections, Martian connections in your chart, in your synastry, in your composite. Like if you have a Venus and Aries in your composite, which is the natal chart for two people together, hold on for the ride, baby. So the next one I had was soulmates on here. Now, and why did I make everything one word? Don't judge me on. Now I know that I would put this under divine counterparts, but maybe not, because soulmates, you can have multiple soulmates in a life. This is a relationship where maybe y'all didn't work out together for some reason. Like maybe one of you went off to college, but the relationship was so great that you always hold in your mind the time that you had with that person. Like being around this person gave you a bar for how you're going to be treated for the rest of your life going forward. This is like the opposite of karmic because it's a positive lesson for you to carry into. So no, divine still does need to be here. Now y'all get to really be in the lab with me because hold on, let me delete this. I have to, or it's going to bother me. Finish this now that I know. But that also helps me understand why I didn't finish in the first place. Because I'm usually, when I'm inspired by something, I release it the same day. Like inspired action. When you get the idea to do something, you do it immediately. It like shoots through the system quicker. It has more firepower behind it. What am I going to call this? Divine partners. All right, so I'm going to go back to the soulmates and finish explaining that. And then y'all are actually going to help me on the other side of the camera. Well, I put this last one together because I cannot, off the top of my head, or while I'm still channeling for the other one, think of any divine partners from that show. Maybe because it's called Sex in the City. Okay, so soulmates. Everything's lovely, but it still feels like it's the match to karmics, guys. These are not long terms, and soulmates don't just have to be, and neither do karmics have to be romantic relationships. Karmics can be family, soulmates can be family, because both provides lessons and some are negative lessons. Sometimes with the karmic thing, they are reflecting back to you. If it's not romantic, they're reflecting. Oh no, it could be for romantic too. All right, just rock with it, Aisha. So karmics reflect back to you the bad behavior that you had in the last life that made you a piece of shit. Sometimes, so that you know in this life, don't ever do that. And it's somebody getting their get back, right? Soulmates give you back the love that you have given out. Maybe in a time in your life when you just rebounded from a karmic lesson. Everything is working like I'm picturing like a piece of clay, molding your masterpiece, like what you will be by the end of this life. Not necessarily you molding the human, but you're molding the soul, cultivating a diamond from coal. So soulmates come when you need a hug. They can be homegirls. Like technically under this for soulmates, I should have put a picture of all the girls together, is what I'm feeling. And I totally just put me in my feelings. Nah, that's copy. I'm starting to get it now, y'all. He didn't belong here. Neither did Harry. Okay, so I can do this. Sometimes soulmates come along to teach you how to love yourself in a way that you did not before. Is it petty that I'm about to go get a picture of the girls? Ah! I just need to, because it's gonna bother me if I don't put them all there. Like, no, I have to have this right. If this is the thing that I was meant to learn this whole time, soulmates are just people who help you love yourself more. You learn yourself, love yourself more. Either way, the of love, how whatever that is for you. Sometimes you go through something bad, and y'all are seeing my Virgo traits come out. Like it has to be done now, like in this moment. If I can't steal this one, I'll just no, leave me alone. And I have to check the top to see if it's a JPEG. Ah ha ha. I used to do coding in school, so some it can be yours. There's nothing you can't have on this internet. So there's a little hacker in me. Just get the JPEG. It's always in the coding. The secret's always in the coding. Clearly a theme for my life. So, okay. This coding, I feel like I need to have y'all fully see this here. Okay. Soulmates was the easiest one. Soulmates can be pets too. They just popped in my head. Undo. I wonder, well, that's interesting. I was like, can you have a doctor or a boss? It can be anybody. What I'm getting in my head now is like touched by an angel mission. Fuck it. Fuck it. Like they pop up at a time when they're supposed to. But that's like their perch. Like they're a soulmate for everybody. Like you ever go into those doctor's offices where they have pictures of all their clients. Like I remember when I was having two of my kids, I had a doctor and he had pictures of all the children he had given birth to or delivered, is the way to say that. All the children he delivered up on his wall, like they were a little part of his family. But because that was his job, I believe like that was his way to be an angel. I want to say soulmates are angels. Just based on that. That made me feel better. Soulmates are helpers. And sometimes you're a soulmate to other people too. I think it's important for me to keep saying you could be karmic too. It just depends on every chart lines up with somebody else's chart differently. That's synastry. Another day I'll do a synastry lesson so y'all can understand more how you can see people's energy come together. It'll be a deeper version of this, if you will. So, divine partners. After going through everything, you meet the one that just gets it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say that because Aiden was totally the one, but she had got so messed up being with her twin flame, she started sabotaging it. Watch Sex in the City. But the one you're supposed to end up with. Not that there won't be challenges or anything, but the love is pure. That feels like the main thing. That no matter what you do, there's no doubt that this person helps remind you what love is. It's like the same energy as the soulmate, but this is long term. This is like it's given Goldie Hawn and is it Kurt Russell? Just a couple. Y'all don't even have to be married. It's just like everybody knows y'all together and nothing can come between that. It does not require a piece of paper. It doesn't require anything. Like that's my one. And it's not like in a that's my one and I sleep with a million other people, but it's cool. No, not at all. Like this is my one. If you had nobody else left in the world, if there was one person you could spend all your time with and be happy and they're not dragging your vibe and it's just mutual, that's your divine counterpart. I'm like, is there any other? I don't know if there's any other examples, Leah. No, the best example would be Charlotte and Harry. She even changed her religion, which I don't know, that's whatever, pick and choose. But with the right person, you are willing to make changes that make you better too. So things run together. You're both making sacrifices with the twin flame dynamic. In its lower octaves, one person is always making the sacrifices to forgive the fact that the other person is not putting in as much energy as they should. And literally right now, as I'm scrolling trying to find a couple, the message I just got was keep that in mind because that's how rare. Oh, that's so like how rare it is for you to find somebody who is your divine counterpart. I don't know why it made me so emotional. The fact that there's only like two examples I can give you, and one of them is sort of shady because the female is the runner. She keeps messing it up when there's a guy who's clearly like it. That's the reason that you're supposed to have the karmics. Like in Carrie's case, it's like have so many bad relationships that when somebody good comes along, you're like, oh my God, thank God. All right, I'll do good. That's what's supposed to happen. But in some cases, you're so afraid when something good comes along, you sort of sabotage it. But if it's meant to be, it doesn't matter if it's 20 years and you done married a whole nother person that had another life. If it's meant to be one day, that person's gonna pop up on your radar like, because when love is real, it's real. It doesn't matter how much time passes, if you're in different bodies, in different lifetimes, when you see the one you love, that frequency, that feeling is always there and it won't leave you, like it will haunt you. So now that I got through that part, what is the message I had today? Because this is going up with the picture of the lovers and the devil card, because those are the outcomes for the lover contract. Just one with the lover's card being you, your partner, and God locked into a trinity. So you rise up and y'all are sort of beaming out love to other people. Like you're the type of couple that makes other people want to be in love. Just watching y'all in a restaurant, just being around your energy is just like, oh, what y'all used to feel about Jada and Will before y'all found out all their tea. They're in a lover's contract. He has Venus at the 29th degree. That is a final exam. And it's in the sign of Libra in a partnership. So anything you have in the sign of Libra is some sort of lover's contract. Now, the devil card is you, your person, and the devil bound into a trinity there where the devil is exploiting your weaknesses as a couple. Like if your weakness is you have an abandonment wound, so you're going to cling to this person no matter how bad they treat you, that's going to be the thing. And if this person is somebody who's a runner, they'll run anytime anything's too good just for any opportunity, then suddenly the devil will bring up all the stuff in the world to make sure this person does not actually start rising up out of that shadow energy. When you get with somebody, your energy meshes with them in a certain way that y'all have a whole different design. The best example I can give you guys is Beyonce and Jay-Z. in Beyonce's chart, right? She has a South Node in fourth, North Node in 10th. This means leaving away from the family, creating a name and legacy. Celestially, galaxy like, this means she left down from the underworld for some reason and she was meant to rise into her celestial self so she can go home at the end, right? That's her chart by herself. If you put her chart with her husband's, it goes South Node in 10th, which is being above, to North Node in fourth, the opposite. So being in a relationship with him rerouted her back down. Another example of this is if you look at the synastry and composite between Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. His goes South Node in fourth, North Node in 10th. He came from below to rise back to the top. But if you put his stuff with Kim, it goes South Node in 10th, down to North Node in fourth. You can get with somebody who is already assigned or meant to make sure that you keep coming back again. It can go the opposite too. Somebody could, or you can see the opposite. You can see that somebody came to pull you out of your darkness into where you're supposed to be, which is above. Everybody's supposed to be above. If you're the shadow, you would dissolve back into nothingness. You are only a echo of what was above in the first place. So we pick and choose based upon what we do every time we're here. And I'm getting that I need to use the romance angels. So if you have decided that maybe I don't want to do that anymore, take your stuff. It all belongs to you by default. All your energy, all the inheritance that was supposed to come through. So what does this collective need to know? And the other person has to deal with more karmics for the rest of their life. That'll probably make y'all feel better. Like, no, if they gave away their one, they don't get that one back again. They get lessons. They get soulmates. They might get somebody nice, but it's not their divine counterpart. It doesn't always happen in one lifetime. Evolution takes a while, and you're not going to be penalized if you ascended and the other person did not. So somebody asked me, I think several people asked me in the comments, and they need to know that. So the first card, it is safe for you to love. What is this? So what is the message I need to do with collective? This doesn't feel very collective. So I'm just going to say the messages. I'm going to pull from another deck because this feels specific. So I'll translate this muggle because even my readings now are different. Like when I see this spread, it's something different. It said, man, you tripping. It's cool. We're going to be good. Your thoughts are deceiving you. We're going to end up together. Just handling some business. Got some family stuff going on, some stuff with my kids, but like one day it's going to come together. Just keep it cool. Whoever needed that message, that is what this says. I don't like when I don't know why I'm pulling. Like this message was not collective. This was specific when I just pulled that. So I'm still here, like, you tripping. We getting married. You're my wife. Be patient. God, I'm working on stuff. Is this how real love is? You just gonna leave me out like that? Wow. Sorry, now y'all can see how tickled I was. That sounds like something a twin flame would say. So what is the message that I need to deliver to the collective today? I feel like the message was the whole video. You make your choice. That's what I heard. You make your choice. The stuff is about to get very interesting. Bottom line, things are coming together. And they're going to come together like this. And I should be triggering something that you've already heard in your own like messages and stuff, right? Like this should not be nothing I'm just like, ooh, and you're like, okay, take it. No, it needs to resonate. It needs to hit on something that you're already feeling. And that's what the message is. If you have already been feeling like, hold on, something is coming to an end and something new is beginning quickly, then this message was for you. Whatever phase that you are currently in is about to wrap up. You know it, you feel it. You've been seeing signs like, oh, this karmic trench is almost done. I'm almost done with those contracts. And then the new thing is going to come like it's already, or it has already been being built in the background. Everything that you are doing right now is setting course for you going towards it. You're leaving behind old timeline. It's like you were in a war over, time for you to get patched up, take some time in the hospital, do some physical therapy, and then you're going back out there. You're going into the trenches. And that just means, out probably in the dating world, or out in the world in general, since this is a love reading, you're going back out there. And what happens after that is up to you, but you needed this information for you to be fully aware. So guys, let me tell y'all about this also. There are rules, universal rules to everything. So say, for instance, this whole time you didn't understand the concept of twin flames. Plausible deniability, right? When you get on the other side, when you die, and this guy done dragged you to hell, you're like, God, please get me out of here. I did not know what this meant. I thought he was on my side. I didn't know he was just trying to drag me to hell this whole time. I just told y'all in the video, there are only a certain number of contracts or type of relationships that are configurations in the system. Now, you can't say that you don't know when you meet this person and you see that red flag, or if you meet this person and you recognize their light. If you mess it up or something goes sideways, now that you have seen this video and you know this information, when judgment day comes after you go on, plausible deniability is not a possibility. Lately I've been realizing it's the same thing with my reincarnation amnesia. Since I remember stuff now, going forward, it's different. All right, when they captured you, the Martians, they pretty much inverted your character. So if you were an angel, you were not an angel for a while. You were a drained angel, which is what a demon is. It's a shadow angel. And whatever your original principle was, it becomes inverted. So for instance, take Lilith, right? Lilith wanted a family. So she started having babies after they kicked her out of the garden. They said, Adam doesn't want you to be dominant in the relationship, so we really can't have you with him. So you're going to have to go out there. And she was like, fine, I don't need him. I'll be a single mother. And she starts having a bunch of babies. Michael and the other angels come down and they kill all her babies and then sentenced her to hell. Right? So what does the demon version of Lilith do? She sneaks in and she steals energy from men. She steals the vitality through being a succubus, through their semen and stuff, right? But she also takes newborn babies. And I do believe that La Llorona is a version of her, just a different time. She takes babies. The demon takes whatever it misses from being an angel. It's the same thing with what they require for your offering. For instance, this is a big one. Satan requires a child or an innocent soul. Remember, this is the shadow of God. What has God lost when all his children ran to the playground on earth and didn't come back to heaven? He lost his children. So what does Satan want? A child, a soul to stay down there with him. Think of it as King Triton when he lost Ariel. Now, God will let it go, right? But the shadow is the unconscious. It's the uncontrolled. It's the part of you that just sits in the background. How does a father feel when he loses his daughter? So that means on the other end, on Satan's side, he never wants to let his daughter go. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't know that there's another God. He just knows that, oh my God, that's my child. It needs to stay here. So I will do anything to make sure it stays. At this point, you now know if you're the partner or the person that's always providing the love in the relationships and you notice that's the pattern, remember that going forward, because if you choose to, you can keep all that goodness and your blessings to yourself. Going forward, you now know you do not have to play the game in that way. This is the same as when people say, I plead the blood. I ain't even got to deal with this. You don't even have to involve yourself in the game. You chose your side and you're going to go with it. But if you are a soldier, if you decided, I gotta save my boo shadow, I gotta get every piece of my man back, or woman, whatever, you are splitting your inheritance with somebody who could very possibly just be linking with you for your inheritance. Because down here we have amnesia, but the souls that are playing the characters always know. And for some people, their oversoul sees you and they're like, that's the one. Get her ass every life. So y'all have a great day.